In a very constructive meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu today, he confirmed to me that Israel accepts the bridging proposal, that he supports it. It's now incumbent on Hamas to do the same. And then the parties, with the help of the mediators, the United States, Egypt, and Qatar, have to come together and complete the process of reaching clear understandings about how they'll implement the commitments. From here, I'm going on to Egypt and Qatar. And these are our two critical partners in this effort to get the ceasefire agreement over the finish line, to get the hostages home, to put everyone on a better path to lasting peace and security. And so I look forward to consulting with President Sisi, with the Emir, Sheikh Tamim, with other critical colleagues in both countries on the immediate steps ahead, and in particular, what needs to be done to ensure that Hamas comes along. And the bridging proposal was to try to close some gaps or to clarify different parts of this agreement that needed clarification. Now, what the challenge is, besides Hamas agreeing to the bridging proposal, is to make sure that there are clear understandings on how the different parties are going to make good on their commitments. I should have mentioned as well, Prime Minister Netanyahu committed to sending his senior expert team back to either Doha or to Egypt to try to complete this process. For example, about polio, because we very much share the concern about the possibility of its reemergence, and we've been working on a detailed plan to make sure that those who need to be vaccinated against it can get vaccinated, and we're working with the Israeli government on that, and I believe that we'll be able to move forward with a plan to do that in the coming weeks. It is urgent, it is vital. Yes, it did. It did, and this has been also something that's been a deep and ongoing concern for us. Violence, intimidation as well of the Palestinian community in the West Bank. There was an incident, as you know, just a few days ago that I think has galvanized attention from the Israeli government, and that is critical. And we look to see action taken to prevent this kind of violence, action taken to hold people who are responsible for it accountable.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken landed in Tel Aviv Sunday, a visit aimed at intensifying diplomatic pressure to achieve a ceasefire in Gaza and end the bloodshed between Israel and Palestinian militant group Hamas. But just hours after he landed, Hamas raised doubts about the mission, accusing Israel of undermining his efforts. This is Blinken's 9th trip to the region since the war began in October. According to a senior State Department official, Blinken plans to meet with senior Israeli leaders, including Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, on Monday, before continuing on to Egypt. Netanyahu addressed negotiations at the start of a cabinet meeting on Sunday, saying, "There are things we can be flexible on, and there are things that we cannot be flexible on, which we will insist on. We know how to distinguish between the two very well." His comments come as Israel is engaged in complex talks for the return of its hostages held in Gaza. A senior Biden administration official said the situation was now at an inflection point. The mediating countries, Qatar, the United States, and Egypt, have so far failed to narrow enough differences to reach an agreement in months of on-off negotiations. Meanwhile, violence continued unabated in Gaza on Sunday, as Israeli strikes killed at least 21 people, according to Palestinian health authorities.
Unfortunately for us, the Israeli government is not doing its best. It's dragging its feet, it's torpedoing its own initiative, all because of political gains. And we want to thank the American administration for putting this effort on the both parties to sign a deal now. Our loved ones are suffering, and there is no time to waste.
Close the deal now. Close the deal now. All of them now. All of them now. Bring our children home today, now. Bring the soldiers home today, now.
Anthony Blinken, please push Netanyahu for a deal at any price, because I want my son to be free. I want my son back home.
We keep hearing.
I just want to say thank you for Blinken, for everything that he's doing for us, and Biden. I wanted to say thank you. I can feel your hearts are with us, and we need to do the deal that's on the table as quick as possible.
I also thank the Biden administration. We had a meeting that provided information. It provided a certain level of optimism. We know that we are on a journey. The journey needs to finish as quickly as possible.